Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of CookieCast. Today on CookieCast, it's the Formula One podcast, Straight to the Apex. It's episode 8. The boys are well in the swing of things now. They're talking previous races, races to come, race politics. Who knows, there might even be a quiz. See who's winning the quiz and find out what's going on in the podcast by listening, or alternatively, watch along on YouTube. Before we get into the Formula One, please let me take a minute to just ask you to like, share, subscribe and comment. If you've got spare time on your hands, not saying that you do, but if you do, you could even leave us a review. Let these boys know how much you love their podcast. So, that's out of the way. Let's get going. So here we go. This is CookieCast, Straight to the Apex.
This meeting is being recorded.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 8 of the Straight to the Apex podcast. As always, you're joined by me, Mark Wilkin. To my left on my screen, on location this week, is Mr. James Stainforth.
Hello.
And then underneath me, as always, better late than never, Mr. Tony Rawson.
Big gay, but yeah, okay. Hi.
Tony, I'm bringing this up with you now. All right, 5 minutes ago, we was talking on WhatsApp. I'm saying, are we all good to start recording? You're going, I was ready here 10 minutes ago. Blah, 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 blah. I'm so cool. Look at me, on time. I'm regular and all this shit. And then just as we're about to start this, you go, oh shit, there's a spider, 2 minutes. A spider.
It was my other half that messaged me about the spider, and she hates spiders, so it needs to be dealt with as soon as possible.
Did you go
gangster style on it?
How do you go
I got the
style on
Hoover.
a spider?
I got the Hoover and smashed the door.
You got the
and
sharp
was
hook
like,
and held it sideways like that instead of...
pinky out. I'm not going to swear. I'm really not. I'm really trying. I'm not going to swear today. I'm going to try and just be really professional.
What if Mark gives you like 1 point advantage for the quiz later on if you swear right now?
Like, you're going to need it.
He's not going to do it. So.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, we're going to have a clean version of the podcast tonight, apparently.
I'm going to try. I'm really going to try.
Right. Okay. We're going to.
You just made this a challenge for me and Mark now.
I know. What should we bring up? Christian Horner, Vettel, George Russell, Lando Norris. That'll get him swearing. Lando.
I've got to say, all you've got to do is mention mention anything about the race, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Who's then?
I'm going to try and keep it together.
So, Baku, ladies and gentlemen, Baku. Start with qualifying, as always. So, we've on pole was Charles Leclerc, second was Perez, third was Verstappen, fourth Sainz, fifth Russell, sixth Gasly, seventh Hamilton, eighth Tsunoda, ninth Vettel, and 10th Alonso. Stunning lap from Leclerc to get pole. I think he was 2/10 faster than Perez, but qualifying, what did you make of it?
I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did. I thought it was quite good.
The only notes I've made... Sorry, buddy, go on.
I was going to say it built up nicely to the final part.
The only notes I've made, Mark, is about Leclerc. You're going to swear? Go on, swear. Go on, say it. Call me a dick.
No, he nailed it. When he needed to nail it, he nailed it. And it was a hell of a lap. And hats off. When you're on board and they're going through them turns, especially like the castle bit? Yeah. Jesus Christ, they are really on the limit. And he nailed it when he needed to with 30 seconds left. He absolutely smashed it and
smashed it out.
When he did it, I was like, wow, that's a good time. I didn't think anyone would beat it. Perez came close. Surprised that Perez out qualified Max.
Yeah.
The tour's always really good in Baku, isn't it? The tour's always valuable because of that long straight. And obviously, there was issues with drivers. They always go slow because they want to be last in the queue or middle of the queue.
Yeah.
You don't want to be that first car. But when you say, I think you just said smash, the word smash then, which leads us perfectly into Q1 where Lance Stroll crashed twice in 2 laps.
Was
What
it
was he
laps
doing?
or was it the same lap?
No,
It was the same lap, wasn't it?
No, so he hit the barrier.
No, because it was turn 2 where he made the second crash, wasn't it? So technically, second next lap.
Turn 7 was his first crash, and he hit the barrier with his wing. And to be fair, the car wasn't damaged, and he backed out. I think they said he had flat spotted tyres, but they said, "Oh, stay out, go for another lap." And he managed, like you just said, James, to turn 2 and proper butt in the barriers because he didn't do it properly the first time.
He really did a number on it.
Why?
Yeah.
How did they were just replaying it over and over again on Sky, and there was no real explanation, and it was just so like it just didn't turn, and it was just like bang, snapped it.
I think he must have broken late or something. Wasn't that the same place where Vettel came off as well a couple of times for breaking late?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
When he was trying to pass,
Where Vettel is that the corner where Vettel spun round in the race, like literally
super
fast? Yeah. That was class.
Yeah. That was class.
Still won it. Yeah, that was proper gangster. Because he didn't even stop. He just span it round and went out. But yeah, I think
span it round and swung himself out.
Yeah, quite a lot of them had a problem, I think, at that turn. But yeah, that was Q1, so we had a red flag, and then it was a bit of a rush job, wasn't it? They all tried to get out, and I think it was Hamilton that was going slow, was it?
Yeah, Ocon was really
he was.
Off.
I've got a note. Oh no, Ocon was kicking off about Alonso, wasn't he?
Going really slow.
About Alonso driving slow, but I know Hamilton was getting investigated in Q2.
Yes.
For the same kind of thing.
Yeah, because Alonso went off on purpose. Albon kicked off and moaned on the radio and said,
"That was it.
He's just done that on purpose. There's no way in the world he even tried to take that corner." But obviously, then Albon got knocked out because everyone had to back out the lap because the yellow flags come out. So, but Alonso loves them tricks, doesn't he? He absolutely loves them. He's the master of the dark
arts. He's doing it a lot though at the moment.
Yeah, he does.
F1's definitely better for him to be him in it, definitely.
Oh,
definitely.
he pushes the rule book, doesn't he? He's I do quite like that about him.
I like him.
Not gonna swear about him, Tim?
No, I'm doing very well up to now. So.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Well, don't worry about it anyway, Mark, because at some point we are going to have to talk about Ricciardo and Norris with their little McLaren tit for tat. So he'll swear then. We'll get him then.
Yeah, we'll get him then. It's fine. Don't worry, viewers. If you're waiting for Tony to swear, you'll get him. It's fine.
Yeah, what are you going to do if we start getting complaints because of your language being so good?
Yeah. And our ratings are down.
I'm just trying to listening to the other podcasts. There's just been a few things that have been very much on the line, and I don't really express correctly what my thoughts are sometimes because I end up just dropping an F-bomb, and it just doesn't sound right. It's just not me.
One F-bomb or 7.
Mate, if I wanted someone who wasn't going to swear on this, I'd be getting Cliff Richard.
I'm just trying to just keep it real, just steady, no swearing. But there's still time. There's still time for me to get pissed off.
You'll forget. So Q3, there was some kind of problem for Perez. So Max was on the radio complaining that he didn't have his toe. Obviously, Josh Verstappen was also probably complaining after the last few weeks and his comments. So Perez, like I said, Perez did really well to get second and outshine Leclerc, but Verstappen. But I think Perez is in the title race, don't you? Until Josh kicks off again.
Yeah, and rightly so.
Is he though?
Rightly so.
Why do you think Horner will pull the plug?
He is, but he isn't. I've been here before. He's definitely proved himself in the past couple of races. He liked Baku. He won it last year. There's a bit of history there. Sky were forever saying there's never been a repeat winner. There's never been a repeat winner. Oh, come on. So they were absolutely winning. Absolutely wanted him to win. But come back to the question. Let's see how he does. Let's give him a few more races until we start talking about a title challenge from him, because he's a good driver, but in my opinion, there's a number one driver, and that is Max Verstappen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I don't think it can be another Bottas, can't he? Just second, the greatest, second best driver ever.
Yeah, but look how Bottas has been this season. Bottas has been great this season with what he's doing. He's showing that he can still do it. And Bottas, when he was at Mercedes, is the only driver that can actually give Hamilton a run for his money.
Mm.
Well, up until like the last.
He can, but wouldn't you say that he could give his run for his money one race out of 10? He's not. I don't think Bottas is Mr. Consistent, like, could challenge him every week. You know what I mean? Every race. One track, he'd absolutely nail Hamilton, and Hamilton couldn't do anything. But then it'd take another 6, 7, 8 races for him to repeat. And I think Perez is better than that. But like you say, will Horner and Red Bull pull the plug on his title challenge because Josh Verstappen will kick off?
Well, this is something I wanted to mention later on, but I'll likely touch on it now anyway. I know Horner's turned around and made his comments going, Perez in contention and everything else like that. He's a race driver, so we're just going to let the two race. But the last two, there's been some really weird things happening, and the pit stops at Baku. I mean, Perez went in. I've made a note of it. I think he went in anyway, and his pit stop was something like 5 seconds long. I want to say something like 5.7 seconds long. And then when they watched it back, and the commentator said, "Oh, we're just trying to figure out why he was being held up," and he said, "Oh, it's because he was waiting for a green light for a safe exit." But there was nobody else in the pits. There was nobody coming in.
Was that where the rear jackman kept the car up? Because it seemed to be up for ages, didn't it? And like you say, there was no one else.
Because he was apparently waiting for the green light. But why would they need to look for a safe place to exit when there was no other cars coming in? And it kind of makes you wonder, are they pulling a bit of a fast one here? It's like, sorry, Checo, it took a little bit longer than we meant to.
And they're on different strategies.
Different strategies.
If they removed the helmet from that rear jackman, it was Josh Verstappen. That's why he kept him up in the air.
Yeah, you watch it back just as Perez is driving off, the guy at the back suddenly goes like that. Like,
yeah. And the actual real Jackman was on the floor laid in the garage because Josh had knocked him out. But yeah, qualifying.
We'll get to that later anyway.
Yeah, we'll get that in the race. So qualifying, that's all really I had. Like you say, it was a good qualifying, but I don't really think a lot happened, did it? It kind of built up like it should do in Q1, then Q2, and then Q3. But barring the red flag and Alonso playing dirty tactics, there wasn't really anything to really write home about, was there? I don't think.
No, all I've got for notes for Q3 was at the start of it when Max was asking why am I ahead. So obviously I think he was hoping to have a slipstream. Perez, but obviously they explained that Perez wasn't fueled up in time. And then the only other note I've got is Leclerc pole lap. Wow. That is literally all I put. I didn't make a note of what the time was or anything else like that. Just wow. So it was a good lap.
Yeah, it was wow. So I mean, we'll whiz through the race because really the main point is the predictions for this week. I think they really need to be talked about in depth. I don't know why But
Well, why don't we stick to the format, Mark? You know,
okay,
all right,
okay.
you know.
All right.
Let-
We won't rush ahead.
The listeners are already upset because Tony's not swearing in this
Yeah.
one, so let's
I'm
not
trying
further by
so
changing how we do
hard.
things.
I'm trying so hard.
Oh,
I
are you
thought
on
he
the
might
brink?
have sworn then. I really did think he might have sworn then. But yeah, we'll give the viewers and listeners what they want. Obviously, Tony isn't giving them what they want, so let's go to the race then.
Mark, I'm a little bit worried actually. I think this could be like, you remember in the film South Park the movie, when Cartman got the chip and he couldn't swear?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it just all pented up, and he just went on a massive tirade of foul language. I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to be a nice, long, relaxing podcast. And in the last 5 minutes, me and you aren't going to get a word in edgeways. It's just going to be him, F's, C's, any other bloody word you can think of, and everything else. And it's just going to finish with us. Thanks. If you still want to listen next week, tune into Cookie Cast, and that'll be the end of us.
I mean, his face was a bit of a darker shade of red when I was mentioning the predictions. So I think he's building. I think we're getting him there. But
Yeah,
let's see what
let's leave it there then, so we can just build it.
let's
Let's stoke the fire a little bit.
I'm not saying anything.
Okay, so the race.
Yeah.
This is otherwise.
Not a great one for Ferrari at all. So
Yeah,
Mr. Leclerc was on pole. Mr. Sainz was fourth. Neither of them finished. What were you going to say, Tom?
What were your thoughts of the race? What were your thoughts? Quick off the top of your head. The best bit was the feeling when the race was about to start. That was the best I felt throughout the whole race.
It's hard because Baku normally really gives us a good race.
Yeah, there's normally we had a lot of drama, but more controversy and stuff like that. But there wasn't really any.
It was good. Yeah, it was.
I shouldn't use the word action, but there weren't really any crashes or anything. No real.
No, because we had the fire blowouts last year, didn't we? Sorry, go on, Tom.
It started here, and it went because everything was in place for a good race. Got a bit of a mix-up, and then it started, and it was like, okay, yeah, we've got a race on our hands here. What's going to happen? Lap 9, Sainz just pulls up, and it's just straight away. It's just face palm. So you're like, oh, okay, well, Leclerc's, and then as soon as one car goes down, you're like, what's going to happen to the other car? And then as soon as he hit the front, Leclerc hit the front, it's just that was the moment of the race for me. There's just white smoke coming out the backside, and your heart starts to die. And then I like it. I don't know if anybody else gets off to this, when you look to the left side of the TV, and you know, like the feeling of watching the Ferrari just drop from 1, 2,
where
3,
his name's just
4,
going down
5.
the list.
It's like, you know, when you smell fresh bread, or when you wake up in the morning and the sun hits your face. It's up there with one of them. It's one of them feelings, isn't it? When you just look.
Basically, when you see something drop down to the bottom. So I bet you really love it when you're watching like Pointless or something, don't you?
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're gonna get a 0. They're gonna get it. Oh, they got 1.
That's what noise you should play when Ferrari breaks down. The pointless scoreboard noise as his name drops down that scoreboard. That's a great idea.
It's more of a feeling of when you've picked Leclerc in your top 3 prediction. It's like
I didn't know that. No.
When somebody's, it's like I imagine it to be I imagine it to be a similar feeling of getting stabbed in the chest and then slowly you bleed out.
Yeah, when I was looking at the predictions, because when it was getting near the end of the race, I'm sat there, I'm like, oh shit, I'm pretty certain Mark's done the whammy here.
Mark's got the 3. But I thought I had Perez second. So I'm sat there thinking, I've got a healthy 5 here, I'm fine. And then I thought, I'll just have a look at my book with like five laps left. I'll just think, I'll just have a quick check. And I didn't. I had Perez third, so I was just lost it. I actually lost it.
I think the issue we've got with Baku this season.
It straight off. As soon as he crossed the finish line, turned it off, and I just went on. I don't know what happened. I think we had an argument. It's just like I say, it started straight at the top, ended right at the bottom, and I just thought, nah. And that's why I've written no notes for this podcast, because that's how I feel. And I'm not going to swear.
You do Max Verstappen
really want to swear.
I'm trying not to look smug in the corner of the screen, but I just can't help myself because, I called it.
But
I've got to say, though, as well.
If you're a Ferrari fan, why are you a Ferrari fan? Why? Comment below. Why? Because if it's not Leclerc making a mistake, if it's not your pit crew is a circus act, if it's not your strategist is a clown, and then your car doesn't work, what's going to happen in Canada? What's happening next race? I know what will happen next race. Leclerc will balls it up. So then we're back to the same circle again, aren't we? So,
are you all right yet?
Mark, this is brilliant. This is like watching Star Wars Episode 3. Anakin is slowly getting angry and angrier, and at some point, I'm not being funny, mate. Tony's going to barge into some like Jedi temple or something and just go nuts, and that's going to be it. Order 66 is going to get and everything.
Your face is really red. You need to swear and
I'm holding it in. I'm holding this.
Oh,
it might be the hot cup of tea is underneath.
Just let it all out, Tony. Let's stick with the Star Wars kind of references, and we'll do like a Palpatine. Give in to your emotions.
This is a safe space.
Let the anger flow. Do it.
I can't. I just can't. I can't.
We're 27 minutes in. It's gonna come because look how mad you are already. So
exactly. We still haven't actually gone into detail on the predictions. My issue, I think the issue we've got with Baku, just moving back onto topic a little bit, shall we say?
Yeah.
Is there was that much drama and not just Baku, but probably the whole season.
Yeah.
There was that much drama last year through the entire season, and Baku alone. I mean, with Verstappen's blowout and was it Latifi who had a blowout as well? I can't remember. Or Stroll.
It was Stroll.
Stroll, so you had the 2 tyre blowouts and everything else like that, and then Hamilton sitting there on the second to last lap, just saying to the guys, "Look, all we've got to do is keep our cool." And then he goes and locks up because he forgot to press the button or something like that, and he just goes straight off, and Perez just goes, "See ya." There was that. Yeah. I mean, that alone just finished off Baku completely last year, and I think we've. It was that entertaining last year, and it was that tight and controversial and dramatic and everything else. That this is just an ordinary season, but because of last season, it just seems no. Does that make sense?
It does. I totally agree in the sense that last year there were obviously them cars were meant to be this year's cars last year. They kept the same cars last year. We had one of the best seasons it's been. The new cars have come this year, and it's not really hitting the heights, is it? It's not. I don't think it's working as well as they thought it would. And what drama they had last year, like you've just said, they're not having this year. It's like these new rules have just reset everything, and it's gone back to type, hasn't it? It's gone back to quite okay races. We get a few good ones where last year there was something happening in every single race that made it the exciting championship it was.
But I think there was they knew the rules were changing, the cars were changing. I think that was the first thing. So this was like the last year of that era. Second of all, they had 2 teams at the top of their game, 2 drivers at the top of their game, and it had been boiling for a while, for a couple of seasons. And there was a rivalry, like a serious rivalry, and straight from like the first few races, it was on, and it was always Red Bull, Mercedes. I think I completely agree with you, Mark. There's been a complete change. I think people are just trying to find the feet. Teams are trying to find the feet.
Yeah, they are. We're at the beginning of the new cars, aren't we?
A new era.
So, a new era. Yeah. Exactly, yeah. So, I mean, great start from Perez, jumping Leclerc. Fantastic, got in front of him, forced Leclerc to lock up, got in the lead. He just didn't have the pace, did he? Because later on in the race, Max was just absolutely flooring it. And I know, like you say, he had the slow pit stop. But I think Max just had the pace on Sunday. And I think
it was inevitable anyway for Max anyway. I completely agree. Just before the race started, because obviously I'm at the in-laws at the moment, as well, if anyone's following us on the socials will have seen me stood in front of one of Mark's dream cars there, the G-Wagon. Just saying.
I was more impressed with the size of the driveway, but anyway, carry on.
Sorry, I've just seen that England lost 4-0 to Hungary.
Pardon?
England lost 4-0 to Hungary.
Not coming home then, no?
No, it's not coming home.
Definitely not coming home. But yeah, no, just before the race, I turned to Charlie's dad and I said, you know what? Because Perez was second, I went, I'm pretty certain this is one of the races where you're better off starting in second because of the turn.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I said, right, Perez is going to take it. And I went, and then from the positioning, I went, there's going to be an accident between 2 and 3. And that was the only bit I got wrong. I was kind of expecting something to happen. It almost did. If I remember rightly, I think Leclerc almost nudged Max or something like that. But yeah, I knew Perez was going to get that. But didn't he have a lockup? Was it Perez who had the lockup or?
No, Leclerc locked up because Perez
Leclerc
won
it, and it was a big one.
Yeah, and like you say, I think Leclerc and Max were quite close coming out. I do think that Leclerc, obviously, the way the pits work, like you say, obviously, Sainz broke down with hydraulics. The virtual safety car come out. So Leclerc Leclerc's stop was slow under the VSC, and the Red Bulls carried on, didn't they? And
that was it.
Oh, it's too early.
5.4 second pit stop for Leclerc.
Yeah, and there was it's too early to pit. Red Bull, stay out. And then obviously Max caught Perez lap 14 because he was just quicker. Max pitted on lap 18 and began chasing Leclerc, who was 13.5 seconds ahead. And we never really got to see that fight because then on lap 20, the Leclerc's Ferrari decided to start smoking and blew up. So, like you say, it was close, wasn't it? Every time, is Leclerc going to catch Max? And then it was like, oh, Ferrari's broke down again. Right, okay, that's that fight.
Yeah.
Sainz and things were heating up. Sainz's Ferrari breaks down. Virtual safety car kind of neutralizes everything and knocks everything out. It like you say, it was one of them races, wasn't it? Everything was so close.
I think the Ferrari power units as well is something that we really need to talk about as well.
Yeah, because that was 4 cars, wasn't it, in the race? Four Ferrari cars.
Yeah, pretty much. As soon as Ferrari starts struggling, if you're if you're Alfa Romeo or I think Haas as well, I think they've got a Ferrari power unit, if I remember rightly. If you're either of them teams, you've then got to look at both your cars and just think, shit, because you know it's going to happen.
Yeah,
and it did again. It's pretty much every time Ferrari have a power failure, Haas or Alfa, they have the same thing. I mean, Yuki's getting really annoyed with it now. Was it Yuki? I can't remember now.
No. Zhou Guanyu.
No, it wasn't.
It was Zhou Guanyu.
Yeah, it was Zhou Guanyu.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Because I said, you got to come in and like, what again? Really? Come on, guys, we've got to get this sorted. It was the drivers are feeling it now.
Heartbreaking. But when you made it to lap 24 though. So.
Well, yeah. But when you, like you say, when the engine supplier team, the factory team is breaking down, as a a baby team to that, like you say, like Alpha and like Haas, you are going to think, well, if they can't get it right for the factory cars, we're getting second-rate engines because there must be. Let's be honest. You look after your own, don't you? So, like you say, it's going to be so frustrating for them because they can't even get it right for the factory Ferraris. And the thing is, they've made a bloody fast car, but it just don't work all race. But they reckon they've put a temporary fix in for Canada for Santos because they know what was up with the hydraulics. But they haven't got Leclerc's engine back yet because obviously it's a quick turnaround again. So, I mean, high speed Canada, it's an engine killer. Who knows?
Yeah.
After this weekend.
Yeah. They've blown, like you said, Tony, they've blown another championship run. Definitely. You just can't.
But they have now. I was talking with Charlie and Dad early on, looking at the predictions and stuff, like trying to figure it out. And I got onto the subject of, Ferrari, and I said it's Canada, it's a fast track, it's a lot of straights, and I went, and I'm pretty certain that last time Ferrari changed the power units, both drivers struggled the race after.
Right.
Pretty certain. I could be wrong, but I know they had some issues. But at the same time, if I'm right, this is for both drivers now. I think this is their third power unit.
Really?
I'm pretty certain because obviously they had the one that they started with.
Yeah.
Both cars have already had to change the power units.
Yeah.
And then they're probably going to have to change them again after this week. So that's the third and final power unit. There's no way they're going to make that last for, another 12, 13, is it 22 races in the calendar?
Well, Russia got knocked off, didn't it? So is it now 21? I can't remember.
21, 20. Yeah. Either way, there's no way you're going to make an engine last that bloody long. So they're going to be looking at grid penalties and everything later in this season.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Is it Paul De Resta, the commentator on? He touched on that. That's what he said, and he did a good job this weekend. He was quite knowledgeable in everything that he was saying.
I don't like that B team of Sky Sports. I miss Martin Brundle. I miss Ted. It's the commentary certainly doesn't sound the same with Crofty.
No, I've missed Ted this week.
Yeah. So no, we'll take a quick break there, and then afterwards, I've just got some things about Tsunoda's rear wing. What?
That was absolute. That was a joke. That was just terrible.
Baku race sponsored by Gaffer Tape. Brilliant, that.
And we'll talk about the porpoising of the Merc returned because it looked terrible again. But yeah, we'll take a quick break now and then we'll come back. See you in a bit. And now.
This meeting is being recorded.
Welcome back. Tony still hasn't sworn, even in the break that we had, although we didn't hear from him, which is more than a worry. Just realised I hadn't actually run through the top 10 yet. So first was Verstappen, followed by Perez, then Russell. So I don't want to say them top three again. No, it'll come up later, it's fine. Fourth was Hamilton, fifth Gasly, sixth Vettel, seventh Alonso, eighth Ricciardo, ninth Norris, and 10 Ocon rounded out the top 10. So as we touched on before, the rear wing of Tsunoda. I have never seen that before.
No, I've never seen that. That was interesting. Very interesting.
I kind of imagined it coming, but I didn't actually. It was that kind of thing where where something funny just pops in your head. They're always going, I'd piss if they just go on sellotape or just staple it shut and say, or just don't use DRS. And then literally you see them with the duct tape just wrapping it around. I'm like, are you actually shitting me right now?
Apparently the FIA were running to the car as if say you can't send it out like that, won't they? And then
that's what I made a note of. Just as he shot off, there's a member of the FIA stomping to them now.
But they didn't pull
Well,
it
I
back
have to
in.
expect it to get pulled back in, but no.
I thought they'd have black flagged it, but they didn't. They just let it carry on. I mean, that's strong gaffer tape, that stuff, at 204 mile an hour holding onto a rear wing.
Well, as soon as, like you just said, as soon as he shot out, and so there's a member of the FIA stomping the way that I said, he's going to get a black flag.
Yeah.
He's going to get called in, and they're going to have to replace it. But yeah, just let him go.
But it's
But
funny.
in fairness to Sky, how many other cars have they done it on? Where they've, you've seen them driving around and they've got a bit of the flooring duct tape down and stuff like that. But but I've never seen something like that happen.
Should he have been black flagged? Should he have been black flagged?
Yeah, it should have been, really. Like you say, it was black and orange flag because it wasn't safe. I mean, the actuator come off, and then the wing it went in half. So maybe, I don't know, maybe they had the onboard camera to say that nothing else could fall off it, type thing.
I just think it's Formula One. Like, millions of pounds are spent on engineering and advancements. We have floors and wings that have got bits that have took hours for people to manipulate to get the best, and then it breaks and the gaffer tape it in the pits.
Yeah, I know.
It's just absolute what. In one sense, that's how I feel. In another sense, it's racing, isn't it? So you kind of just got to stick it back on, carry on. Is it safe? Is it not? Well, I thought once they stuck it back on, it looked pretty safe to me. They put a lot of gaffer tape on it. So but it's the
I can't wait for the next race where they said, wait till the next race where they can't get one of the drives in or something, so they just use some like no thrills bloody expansion foam or something. We'll find out it's going to get sponsored by Screwfix going forward.
They run out of tyres, so they just stick like them extra, them spare tyres that some cars have that are like bright yellow and they're all that thin.
Face savers, get some of them bad boys on. Yeah, but it's
They'll
funny.
on Williams. Oh, what wheels is this? Oh, we just took the one off Frank's chair. It's fine.
Oh, we've gone a bit dark there. I just think it's fun. I don't know what to say now. I've lost my train of thought. I just think it's funny that the Red Bulls all have rear wing problems again, and obviously it's the sister team to the Red Bull. But then I tell you what, they were quick on the Red Bull pit wall to say, "Don't use DRX, Max. Don't use DRX."
I was going to say, I didn't think of that. Didn't think of them being the sister team because I have made a note of Max being told I think it was like the last 10 laps. It was like, don't do it now.
And
they've had a lot of history with their rear wing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the rear wing got a lot of history, and Max with a DRS. Yeah, maybe there's something going on there.
Yeah. Mark Porpoising.
Really good one to watch.
Mark Porpoising.
Mate, it's awful.
I don't know how Lewis does it.
I am going to instigate Horner's Corner as well when we're talking about this. That will be coming up. But Toto at the start of the race actually don't worry, Tony, I'll get to it. Don't worry, calm yourself down. Don't be going on like a swearing kind of
not yet
thing or anything like that. That's, woosah. So Toto just before the race actually turned around, didn't he? And he said, I don't know if Hamilton's going to finish the race. He said the porpoising's getting that bad and the impact it's having on his back. He said, I don't think he's going to finish.
And him getting out the car, he looked awful, didn't he? Like,
really bad. He was in absolute agony. And the commentator said you can see the engineers wanting to help him out, but they can't touch him because he hasn't been weighed yet. And you're like, oh, me. Well, and Toto apologising. But even when you saw him walking about 5 minutes later, he's walking like if me or you had just been in the garden and just lifted about 10 bloody paving slabs. And you just, you can't walk because your lower back's just fucked.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that he said about the touching rule because did you see Latifi got a stop-go penalty because the mechanic touched his car and pushed it back into the grid slot because it was within
hilarious,
15 seconds. I thought, I mean, that's a stupid blood. What can that guy do in that 15 seconds? All he was doing was pushing him back in the box. But, I'll touch the car with 15 seconds to go. What's it matter? If it was 17 seconds.
Yeah, there was no benefit. If anything, they took away the advantage that he had.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's like, he's got a 30-second advantage. Well, I've just moved it backwards.
Christ. Bloody hell.
But I was talking to Charlie's brother just after it said, he's getting a 10-second penalty, and someone went, he'll only get that time back if he gets a red flag. And then me and him just started laughing, going, yeah, but if there's a red flag, Latifi's going to fucking cause it anyway.
He's going to be the cause of the
Latifi watch.
Yeah, Latifi watch. Hey, he didn't crash this weekend.
Beth said that. Beth mid-race when he gets boring, Beth goes, "You just need Latifi to crash." And I was like, well, there's still time.
2-1 odds, him or Stroll, whichever one take you pick.
Yeah, we should do that as like an extra kind of
like a sad bet.
Yeah,
prediction kind of thing. Who's going to be top three, and in what lap is Latifi or Stroll going to crash?
50-50.
I know. Going back to the porpoise and stuff like that. And yeah, like I said, I'm bringing up Horner's Corner because he was interviewed and he turned around and he went, I think it's all an act.
Really?
He said, I think that Hamilton and George, well, he didn't actually say their names directly, but he implied it enough. And he knew exactly what he was fucking talking about.
Oh, of course.
He was like, the drivers are going to bitch and moan and stuff like that. And they're really going to get on it if there's something that's impacting their drive, but all the other drivers have got the same kind of issues, and a lot of us have kind of figured it out. And you can't start spitting your dummy out and throwing your toys out the pram and blah 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 blah, just so that the FIA might slightly change the rules that'll benefit you. And I was like, you're a dick. You're being a dick again. I've been agreeing with you for the last couple of weeks, but today you've been a bit of a dick. But then the interviewer actually turned around to him and went, well, what would you have done then if it was Max or Perez? And he went, oh yeah, I'd tell him to bitch and moan and make an absolute scene out of it so that the FIA changed the rules. It's like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, I mean, God, if it benefits him and his Red Bull team, Jesus Christ. But I mean, I agree with him. Mac have got it massively wrong. Massively wrong. But like you say, on the other hand, if it was his car doing it, oh, God, we'd hear about it every single second of every single day, wouldn't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
I think it's going to be bad at Canada because Canada's another bumpy track.
Well, this is what I said. It's a similar track. It's nothing but straights, really, and high speed. So it's another street race.
Yeah, I thought they dialed it. We all thought they dialed it out with this new floor, and we was getting excited at Spain, but it seems to have come back with aggression, doesn't it? Again.
Well, George has actually said this is worse. He went. It was bad to begin with, but he went. This is 10 times worse than it has been. He said because what was it? He said it used to be like a gentle wave. It was more of a bounce. He said, whereas now it's pretty much like you've been shook at high speed.
God.
Because Russell's getting out saying he's feeling sick. Hamilton's getting out and his back is in bits because of obviously how they kind of sit, because it's pretty much like on a 45-degree angle, aren't they? Pretty much. So
yeah,
their ass is.
The knees are above their head. The knees are just below the head, but above their ass type thing. They're setting like a V shape.
Yeah.
It's really odd.
Yeah.
But yeah, like say, watch this space. They keep saying that they're going to get started for Silverstone, but I mean, we're coming up to Silverstone. And, it seems.
That's what I mean. You've got Canada this week. Then is it a 2-week break or?
Yeah, could be.
Is the summer break?
I don't think.
I think they've earmarked Silverstone, aren't they? I don't know. I don't know if that's the feeling.
Silverstone's a target. Silverstone's their SLA, so to speak.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got Canada this weekend. Then there's a weekend off like you normally would. Then it's Silverstone, and I think there's 2 back-to-back, Silverstone and
Austria.
I can't remember what it is. Austria.
Yeah.
And then I think it's just going to break.
No, then we've got a week off. Then we've got France and Hungary, and then it's the summer because then Belgium's always the one after the summer break.
Yeah.
So anything else on the race before I give you the driver standings?
I do think, and I'm not just saying this just to make Tony swear, I do think we've got to touch on the McLaren thing. I honestly do.
The first time I've really thought, I wish Lando had shut up. I don't know if he's doing it on purpose. I don't know if it's all a bit of an act. I really like Lando Norris. Really like the kid.
I do, but
moaning, wasn't he?
Oh, look and do it for the team.
Ricciardo needs to get out my way. He's going too slow. I'm going as fast. Yeah, Lando seems to get in the car and he becomes this selfish little prick, don't they? Which they all are. All racing drivers are, But I don't know if they're just playing his radio message more than others. Maybe I don't know.
Probably it'll be the usual kind of media coverage drama thing.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I get it. I get it. I really do. At the end of the day, you've got to drive for yourself as well as the team.
Yep.
And you always want to finish one above your teammate, and rightly so. But at the same time, if you're being told, just stay where you are, just do it.
Because it was a bit petulant at the end with him, wasn't it? Where he got told to keep station, and you could see he was lining him up on the last lap. And I think he finished 0.4 behind him, or nearly level.
I was going to say just before the checkered flag, and he just come out, and I thought, oh shit, he's going to just dart across, and I thought, you're going to take him. And you know what? I reckon if he'd have done that a couple of yards earlier, possibly. Can you imagine the bloody drama if that had have happened though? If right on the bloody flag, Lando just took it.
I mean,
I think that'd be it for him. I think the relationship would be absolutely destroyed if that had happened.
Yeah.
There's something up in there. There's something up there. I've always thought that there's a chip on Lando's shoulder ever since he went there. And I'm not quite sure why. And there's something going on there that's just not quite right. Like they're not. I think everybody thought it'd be like a fairy tale, like them two together, but it's really not. And I think the spotlight was on them because they were close together in this race. And Ricciardo's come under a lot of flack, and he was actually doing better. So I think the program kind of highlighted him a bit more. But it goes to show what you guys have just spoke about there, that there's just something that's just not quite right. They're not gelling together, them two. I don't know why. I don't know. I thought it'd be, like I say, it'd be two fun guys, really want to race, competitive. But Lando's just exactly what you said, Mark. Is just a bit of a prick. He's coming across as a prick.
Yeah. And
like a chip on his shoulder. And it's like, you've got nothing to prove, mate. Just drive the best that you can, as hard as you can, Mark, for the team.
Are we classing prick as a swear word?
As a swear word, yeah, but as a Tony swear word, probably not.
Nah.
We'll
allow it. We'll allow it.
We'll allow it, yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
I think you're right. I think Lando was
No, you're right, mate. Yeah.
It was real bubbly and funny with Carlos Sainz when they were teammates. Daniel Ricciardo, did you see when Gasly was getting interviewed and Ricciardo was doing the boxing introduction behind him? And Gasly just stopped and laughed, and he was like, "You're getting better," but he had this Coca-Cola bottle and he was going, "Pierre Gasly," and everyone was just pissing themselves. But that's his personality, and like you've just hit on, then you've put two fun guys together. You think, "Oh, that's going to be a right fun team," and it's just not worked out, has it? It's just not. Yeah. Lando's gone real serious this year.
Yeah, no.
I don't think
I was really excited when the two of them got paired up. Not for the racing, more for the entertainment side of it. I've got to admit, because Lando's always been funny with Leclerc and stuff like that. There's always been that banter with them, and like you just said, with Ricciardo and Gasly and stuff like that. So you'd think putting them two together, this is going to be brilliant. They're going to work really well. There's going to be a really strong banter between them, but they really no.
Is it a pressure?
It's making me wonder now.
Go on.
Oh, all I was going to say was it makes me wonder now if what we saw in Drive to Survive in the season just gone, what was that legit? Maybe it's not the media just trying to just show us what they want to see.
Yeah.
Is it a young driver that is come into a big team, and the pressure has caused him to act like he's taking it real seriously? Like, I've got to be the best here. I've got to be the best that I can. Serious head on here. Like, I am the best. I'm going to be. Do you know what? And
I'm the team leader. I've got to be the team leader. The pressure's on me. Like you say, I've got to lead this team.
I've got to prove myself against an experienced driver here in this car, in this McLaren, this orange McLaren, this massive team. Like, unlike a George Russell, who has dealt with the pressures a lot differently. It's kind of just natural. I call him boring George, but you know what? He's doing really well, to be honest.
Have you seen that meme that's been going all over the socials with there's I think it's in like a takeaway, and there's all these people fighting, and they're all named like Perez, Leclerc, Sainz, Verstappen.
Might have seen it.
And then there's one random guy just sitting there eating his chips quietly, and then it just says George.
Yeah, I like
it. Just going back to what you were saying there about Lando and stuff like that. Yeah, again, you're probably right. Lando's the young lad who's got a lot to prove and everything, and he has come to a big team. He really has. But I'm going to be a bit. There's going to be people that will probably disagree with this, and you guys might as well. But is there with a seasoned driver who's probably past it?
No.
No.
It's him, Lando Norris, acting like he is making is completely it's the team's in a bit of a tailspin because of the way the pressure, the whole pressure.
And this is what I mean. I mean, yes, Lando's this young lad coming in, this go-get-it attitude and stuff like that, but I think that what they was thinking was we can bring him in. We've got Ricciardo here, and Ricciardo can show Ricciardo can teach him how to regulate and do this, and teach him what he knows.
Like a Padawan.
Let's stick with the Star Wars kind of thing before you go to the dark side later on in this episode, Tony. But
Lando's showing signs of the dark side. Like his love and hate is too, and he's more hate. There's a stronger.
I don't want to.
Well, if we're gonna go down this kind of thing, then Ricciardo's Qui-Gon because he's not going to see the season.
I think
I think he'll finish the season and I think he'll leave F1.
No. He's got more seasons in him, and I'll leave it. Horner said it. I think he said it on Drive to Survive.
He did. Yeah.
No, come on, give Horner his props here. He said that's not like Daniel. Daniel's not racing to his full potential here, and it's the environment. It's all messed up.
I hope he's not past it, but I can see your point because he looks a shell of a driver.
I don't want him to be.
He was.
I want him in there for a few more years.
Yeah.
Okay, let me put this to you then. This is a good point. Is it too soon for Lando to step into a McLaren?
No, but I think it's too soon for Lando to lead McLaren.
Yeah. He's got to go in now as the underling and learn.
Yeah, definitely.
And then he can take the lead.
Under Sainz, it was number 2, and he flourished. He's now if McLaren all of a sudden built a car that could go for the title, they would push Lando like they push Max. I don't think the kid's ready for it.
Yeah, okay.
Or it doesn't seem to.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I
agree.
So the drivers' standings are currently Max with 150 points, Perez with 129, Leclerc 116, Russell's on 99, Sainz on 83, and Hamilton on 62. Going into the next race, which is a Canadian Grand Prix on the 19th of June, 7 p.m. start time. which is always a nice race at 7 p.m. 70 lap race, 2.71 mile lap with 14 corners. As we said, it's quite a street circuit that's got quite a lot of straights and then little kinks. Again, always love Canada. Think it's always a real good race. Let's see. So do we want to do predictions or a little quiz next?
Well, you know how it works, Marky Poos. Let's not anger the T-Dog any more than he already is.
What, so
We're going to talk about
predictions,
last week's predictions.
All right.
Then do the quiz.
Right.
And then we do the next predictions. I'm sure you're very happy to talk about the last predictions, aren't you?
I
Marky
am,
Poos?
yes. So I'm just going to get my book out.
Yeah.
So Tony went for Verstappen, Leclerc, Perez. Verstappen, Leclerc, Perez. James went for Verstappen, Perez, Leclerc.
Yep.
And then this week's host went for Verstappen, Perez, and Russell, which I think is what the top three finished as. Yes, it was. Yes, so I got. So didn't we say how many bonus points was it if you got all three correct? I can't remember the scoring system. No, it was
I'm
more
sure
than
it was
one.
It was 10, wasn't it?
It was one.
10.
It was 5, I think.
It was one.
It was
one.
What?
It was
I
one.
thought you got
It was
5
You get-
bonus points.
You get 3 if you guess the winner,
Yeah.
2 if you guess second, 1
Yeah.
if you guess third, and if
Yeah.
you get all 3, you get an extra whammy.
I thought we said an extra 5 because it was, really
You
hard.
wish. You're still not in the lead.
So okay then. So give us the what them predictions have done to the leaderboard, James.
Ooh, I don't
I'm
want
just
to
going
do
to write
this.
these
Well,
scores down. So the scoring is 3 points for first, 2 points for second, 1 point for third, and if you get
yeah,
all
no
of them,
cheating now, Mark. Remember this.
yeah, all
So-
correct, you get a bonus point. Okay. So go on. What's
Before that race, I was leading with 13 points. Tony was in second with 10 points. Mark, you was in last place with 7 points.
Yeah.
So obviously I had Max and Perez, so I got a healthy 5 points there. So it puts me at 18 points, still in the lead. Tony, obviously you only got Max in the end, so it gave you 3 points, so you got 13. And Knobsock there got all 3 of them.
Yep.
So there's 6 points. And then because he got all 3, he got the bonus point as well. So that took him up to 14 points. So currently, there's only a point in it between you two now. But yeah, Max pipped up to second place.
How many points am I be at you?
4.
Right. Okay.
I'm being sensible. After that 1 week where I took a massive stupid gamble and said, oh yeah, all this is going to happen, I don't care, I can lose a few points. I ain't doing that anymore. I'm being sensible now.
Well, I
I'm a
mean,
big kid.
karma has really paid me back because after the shit show of the quiz last week, then I think I deserve that.
I've got a few points to make, to be honest.
Okay.
Congratulations, Mark. But
Thank you.
Come on, say it.
It's you were lucky, but to be honest, when you said what you said, when you said your prediction, I remember my reaction. I was thinking, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I was like,
agree.
yeah, that was pretty good.
I got lucky.
Looks-
I got lucky. 2 Ferraris breaking down. I got lucky.
But this is the thing, Ferrari again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who's ever going to pick a Ferrari again? Who's ever going to not put Max first?
That's the thing now. Because of that, we've seen the unreliability of Ferrari. Now, I mean, I've come into this week's prediction. I've already made my predictions, but before I came onto it, I looked at every little thing. I checked the weather. I'm like, well, is it going to be a wet race?
This is the
Is it going to
thing.
be
No,
this?
you see, this is the thing. You're taking it. This is. You could go mad.
I don't care,
You could
Tony.
go insane.
I'm in this to win.
You could go insane by trying to predict your predictions. So after the Ferrari fiasco, time and time again, I'm now just. What's to say? I can see it now in the papers. Ferrari pull it back with a 1-2. Do you know what I mean? 1 week. Both cars.
Definitely. Yeah.
Smash it.
It could happen.
But I think you need the thing that I am now onto is that if you get in the lead like James, it's hard. I think it's hard to drop because I think if you just keep getting them points, even if you get the winner and you're at the front, you're just going to keep going. I think Mark was lucky this week because if he hadn't got a bonus point in the 7, he would be in.
Yeah, you two will be level pegged.
Yeah. But there's a long way to go. It's 4 points is now, Tony. You could end up top. A lot to play for still.
Yeah.
Right, quiz time. Are we ready? So I did say I'd make it hard. I made it a lot harder than it is now, and then I felt bad, so I have dialed it down. So you will get some right answers. However, they are. I think they're quite difficult questions. So let's see. The first one.
Go on. Well, I won't say anything. Go on.
You were going to swear there, weren't you? Look
this
how red your face is.
This is supposed to be a fun quiz that everybody can relate to. And your first question is going to be like, who won the 1997 Silverstone Grand Prix? And what was the weather for a bonus point? And it's like,
funny you
come
should
on.
say that.
No one.
I was going to say this, but for the benefit of the listeners and stuff like that, if you haven't listened to last week's podcast, Mark's being like this because I beat him. So now he's trying to make this the hardest thing. Now, this is unfair to the listeners because a lot of people probably listen to this on the way home from work or whatever, and they think, oh, a nice little light-hearted quiz, like Tony just said, and you're just going to shit all over them.
You take it too serious.
What was the idea of this driver?
It was a fun quiz with a swimming pool question in it that was fucking ridiculous.
That's fun.
Neither of us got that one right. Neither of us got that one right. Yeah. I still beat you.
You did.
I honestly, that moment where you go Valtteri Bottas, and then the fastest speed, and you do them again, like it's like a double, like bow.
It was like Rocky One. It was just when you think he's on the ropes, he gets up and takes them final 2 swings. Here comes the haymaker.
If you watch us on YouTube, everyone, you'll see their happy little faces. Never look so happy. Just look how pathetic and stupid they are. It won't be like this on Saturday when I absolutely annihilate them at karting. They'll be crying.
Don't worry, I've got a secret weapon for that, baby.
Yeah, you're going to take me off, aren't you?
No. I've invited somebody. Somebody.
I fully think I'm going to lose to your brother. 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
The other person I brought is.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Right, okay. Right.
It's a TV unit, isn't it?
If I lose, I lose. As long as you two clowns don't beat me, I'm absolutely fine. So, right, let's quickly move through this quiz. So, question number 1 is multiple choice. So, fastest finger first. Who was the first driver to reach 100 wins?
Tony.
Was it? Do you want any options? Are you going straight in?
Oh, is it multiple choice?
Yeah, you've said Tony, so go on.
Yeah, go on.
Answer.
Don't I get the options?
No, because you buzzed.
No!
You buzzed before I finished the question.
Michael Schumacher.
Incorrect. So, James, option A, Michael Schumacher. Option B.
I'll wait patiently.
Seb Vettel.
No way!
Or option C, Lewis Hamilton.
So you got 2 options.
I'm just trying to think now. First driver to get 100 wins.
To reach 100 wins, yeah.
I know the answer now. I actually do.
I'm going to go with Vettel.
It's incorrect. It's Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, shit.
You could have had him there.
I didn't want to go with that. I thought that's the obvious one.
I know. So, this is a true or false question. Again, fastest one. Obviously, whoever's in first and gets it wrong, the other one's won. True or false? Jenson Button has never finished on the podium at his home race?
Tony.
Go on, Tone.
True.
Yeah,
It is true.
it's true.
Yep, it is true. Well done. Question number 3.
How many questions is there? How many questions is there?
Only 6. Only 6. So, question
I've
number...
got a point. I've won
You've got a
already.
point, yeah. Question number 3. In which country did Lewis Hamilton take his first win? Fastest again.
Oh, shit me. I know this. James.
Tony.
James was first.
Canada.
It is, in fact, Canada. Well done. 1-1.
What are you saying, Tony? You've got a point. You got a point.
He got a bit
I
cocky,
thought I
yeah.
said my name first then, to be honest.
You won't
so
even
we
got
may
a
need to
point
run
through.
that back. We may
Run
need
it-
to run that back.
Run it
people.
back and you'll find out VAR said James is first, so stop whining. Number
On my
4.
I said Tony.
No,
And
James.
then James said James, and
No.
you went James.
You watch it back, James.
It's all right.
Tony.
It's
You'll
all
find
right.
out.
We'll just carry on. It's all right. It's all fun. It's just fun.
Shall we ask this? Let's ask the spider.
Yeah, he might know the answer.
That is dead.
Yeah.
That is
Number
dead.
4. So again, this is fastest. What was the previous name of the Red Bull team? No?
No.
Turn? No?
Muller.
I don't want to answer and get it wrong, and then James has basically got 5 minutes to think about it.
James has said that he
Well, we
doesn't
haven't got
know.
5 minutes,
So,
have we?
no.
Nobody knows.
No? Jaguar. It was Jaguar.
I would have never got that.
So again, fastest one. How many gears does an F1 car have?
James.
Go on,
7.
James.
Oh, are we counting reverse as well?
Bullshit! 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 Don't
no.
do that!
I'll-
Don't
I'll
answer
see-
that!
Hang on.
You answer
Tony's
that.
I
four.
am counting
Tony's four.
reverse. I am
Tony's
counting
four.
reverse.
No,
But
I'll
you're
stick
wrong.
with the 7, but I'm just happy that Tony swore. Even if I lose, I don't care because I made Tony swear.
Tony, you can go in front and you've sworn. Go on, it's not 7.
So, it's not 7.
Yeah.
Are we counting reverse or not?
No, not counting reverse.
What
I
about
think
you?
it's 8. 8.
Tony's got it correct. It is 8. Look at him.
I
Look
don't
at
even care. I made him swear.
So you've got basically the last question. This is related to our weekend events because we are going go-karting. So all the current F1 drivers started when they were young in go-karting, but not all former drivers did. Can you name any of the 4 drivers that never did go-karting before they went into Formula One? Or didn't start?
Current drivers.
No, they're not current.
So, whoa. So, are we getting a point for each one, or
No, if one of you just shouts a name out that's on my list, you get that
James.
point. Go on, James.
Mark Webber.
Incorrect.
I don't care. I made Tony swear.
So have I won then, technically?
Well, yeah, if you don't want to give me a name, then technically, yeah, you have one.
I was
Well-
going to go Sebastian Ocon.
I mean, he's not an F1 driver, Sebastian
Oh.
Ocon. So
Oh shit, Ocon.
he's a
Ocon.
current driver, and I did say no current drivers. You really
no,
put
you
me
said
through.
I'm current drivers.
No, I said no current. All current drivers did go-karting. So you've embarrassed yourself at the end of the
No,
podcast
I've got
because
one. I've got an
Sebastian
answer. I've got an
Ocon-
answer.
Yeah, Sebastian Ocon, who went a fucking
No, that was
racing driver.
Go on.
No.
Then. So,
Oh,
go on.
look at
That's
him,
not
look
bad.
at
He
him.
was.
So the 4, Damon Hill.
Oh fuck!
2 swears. 2 swears.
Yes.
We both did it.
Damon Hill was motorbike racing before.
Go on, say
Formula
cool,
One.
Fad.
Nope. Jack Brabham was oval track racing. Martin Brundle. Martin Brundle started on grass tracks, which I didn't know. And Gilles Villeneuve started snowmobile racing. Didn't actually do go-karting, was snowmobile racing.
Wow.
I should have known Brabham because I told you about him the other week, didn't I? So, he never did all of this. He just came straight into it. Bollocks.
Damon Hill.
But,
The
James, I mean, Tony might have won the quiz, but the winner here is us because he's sworn twice in this podcast.
Yeah.
So, well done,
We did it, buddy.
Virtual high five. Thank you very much.
When you were talking about, I'm going to do this quiz, it's going to be real hard, it's going to be about the history. Straight away, I was just thinking, Damon Hill is going to come up here.
Right, too little, too late.
I don't mind.
So right, let's quickly whiz through predictions. So my predictions for Canada are Verstappen. What? Yep, Verstappen, Leclerc, Perez. So who wants to go next? You've not got long.
Tony goes next because he won the quiz.
Yeah, go on, turn. You haven't got long, buddy. You have to hurry up.
Max.
Yeah.
Perez. Leclerc.
Wow.
James.
I went Perez.
Oh, you
Max.
fucking dickhead. Go on.
Perez. Max.
Leclerc.
And Russell.
Ooh. I mean,
I don't think Leclerc. I don't think Ferrari's going to do it. I'm looking at the weather. It's going to be a wet race, and I think Mr. Consistent is going to do his usual thing. And I think Hamilton's going to be fourth.
Good shout, and you also made him swear again, so that's an extra bonus point for you. So on that note, on the podcast that he wasn't swearing, and we got 3 out of him. Unfortunately, and he's gone all red-faced, so he might as well just drop a few F-bombs in our last minute that we've got left.
But make sure you thank Cookie Cast and everything as well, Tony, while you're doing it, yeah?
Yeah. Thanks to Cookie Cast, to Andy. Thanks to James for making Tony swear. Thanks to Mark, me, for making Tony swear. And obviously, thanks to Tony for actually swearing. Until next week, guys. Take care.
I try my best.
See you later.
See you soon.
So there you go. What do you think to that? Another one done. Another race gone. Another race to come. It's all going on in the Formula One world. Big thanks to Tony, Mark and James for delivering another fantastic podcast. Thanks to you for listening along. And if I can just bother you before we get out of here, if I could ask you to like, share, subscribe and comment. Drop these guys a review if you've got the time. And if you're milling around the internet, let's say, maybe check out the website. It's thecookiecast.com. You can find social media links to get in touch with these guys and people from the other podcasts. And you can drop us an email by clicking the email button. That's it for this one. Until next time, I'm going to say bye, and I'll see you then.